Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. I'm called Maureen. We'll begin with our top stories. Workers of the garbage disposal company Hisakam are on strike again, asking for 2 months of unpaid salaries. They manifested their unhappiness by blocking the coal Fulun base at SWA this morning. As schools across the country have this Monday reopened their doors for the third term, but without effective lessons from teachers who have embarked on another phase of the North is Enough strike action to push government to fulfill its promises. And on the occasion of the World Malaria Day this April 25, under the theme Harness Innovation to Reduce the Burden of Malaria and Save Lives, Cameroon has adopted a new national policy to fight against malaria this year. I will also tell the story of a 28-year-old young man who went to collect 2,000 francs pay. He had worked for birth due to some clumsiness. He was beaten brutally, the pains that is said to have resulted to his death. Those were major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Workers of the garbage disposal company Hisakam are on strike again, asking for 2 months of unpaid salary. They manifested their unhappiness by blocking the coal Fulun base at SWA this morning. More in the following story.
All the trucks who cut the waste around town packed the entrance of the head office block. Workers in their outfits, clamoring, claiming their rights. With voices loud and clear, the workers of the garbage disposal company Hisakam this morning manifested at the headquarters of the structure in Yaoundé. The list is long. They are decrying the fact that they work day and night and have nothing to show for in the name of salary, despite the risk and all. The grievances they have in writing and wants concrete solutions. In broken grammar, he pours out the pains within.
I want 2 months salary on depart of the depart immediate today. The director technique we go because it give all man problem. If you go move the see them, we never move on corner. It can give 8 days. We'll go cut 14,000.
Was still problems with workers encountered outside and reported to the company sides with the outsider. Before AFCON competition, this garbage disposal company workers were on strike, decrying same working conditions that left the capital city for 1 week in heavy stench, putting the health of the population at risk. But because of the continental and international image, with visitors streaming into the country, hasty solutions were made. They are back on the same problem.
No problem. All the time they show all these problems. No somebody will get problem. No one see the people them. All time. If you come out from my house 4 o'clock morning time. You can't reach for 5:30 where you don't really pay my later. If you are chief one time, he's saying you for back. Now I'm on the way to cut them.
Though the city mayor is strategizing to clean around for these workers to cut away, stopping work is very likely to leave Yaoundé with much heap of waste than the city is already today.
The alarming rate of fuel shortage in Betua in the east region of Cameroon has been described by the population, especially transporters. Some have parked their vehicles for this due to fuel scarcity, a situation which they say hinders them from going about transportation like before. More on the story with our reporter Stephanie Chin.
Exactly 3 weeks since transporters and fuel users have complained about fuel shortage in some petrol stations in Betwa. This is Leopold Dogmo, stranded because he lacks fuel to embark on a trip. The issue of fuel shortage in the town of Betwa is terrible. It's been a while now since we've been witnessing its scarcity. As you can see, I have parked in a petrol station, but I can't get fuel, and I need to embark on a journey. According to reliable sources, petrol stations deal in quota, and the problem is not at the level of Betwa. Vehicles leaving Garua Bulai to Douala are parked here due to fuel scarcity. At the station, I was told I could only get fuel for 10,000 francs. What use does it have for a heavy truck like mine? I just had to park. We are really suffering to get fuel, and the least we can get, we have to struggle to ride heavy truck vehicles. The population of Betwa have decried fuel scarcity and called on the authorities in charge to take necessary measures to remedy the situation on ground.
Schools across the country have this Monday reopened their doors for the third term, but without teachers' effective lessons from teachers who have embarked on another phase of the North-Eastern North strike action to push government to fulfill its promises. We visited some schools here in Cameroon's economic city Douala. More in the following story. The anger and agony that still reflects the unsatisfactory state of teachers after government failed promises is very much present at Government High School Jos in Douala. The campus might seem busy, but teachers are nowhere close to the classrooms. Students say they have not had any lectures as schools opened their doors on this first day as classes resumed for the third term, described as the most decisive. These students, especially examination classrooms, are almost in tears. They told me this strike action will have an effect on the effective coverage of the program and revision for the official examination. But this vice principal sees the contrary.
I have two eyes. You have only eyes. What you see here is what I see. I'm sure that you are seeing that there is school here. That means there is the school. Everything is going well. There's no problem in this just in Aqua.
He, however, confirms he's not satisfied with government's strategy, but keeps hoping.
OTS is a movement that we have begun, but in sometimes. I know that the President of the Republic or the government has started to solve some problems. And we on Just, we know that our government will go on with the solutions. We don't need to strike again because we are sure that our government will do something. That's the reason why here in Just there is nothing.
At Government Technical High School, Bonanzumbe, it is a contrary atmosphere, even though we're not allowed to go near any classroom, no teacher. It should be noted, strike action on this first day of resumption of classes for the third term. Critics say will have a serious blow on students if government does not act and fast. Now on this sad story where a 28-year-old man went to collect 2,000 francs pay he had worked for, but due to some clumsiness was beaten brutally, the pains which resulted to his death. The incident occurred last Thursday at the Human Bank neighborhood on the road to Corbison in Yaoundé. The cause is presently at the mortuary. More in the following story with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamo.
Emmanuel Atebangono, under his nickname Amot Omoneton, is known by almost all and loved because he is very hardworking and had washed the house and chairs of one lady in the Oyoma Bank neighborhood around Yaoundé 7 district for the sum of 2,000 francs. The money she did not pay, and after several stops at the woman's house, nothing to show for. Last Wednesday, Amot went to the home of the said lady for his money. Her refusal to act accordingly pushed him to clumsily smash the windscreen of her car with a chair out of anger. The said lady then ordered her boys to beat him up, and that they did mercilessly, hitting and dragging him around to the point of nothingness as he surrendered to their will after efforts to save his life, as the amateur video illustrates. From there, Amot returned to his abode, his new home for 3 months now, Laverimbia. The next morning of April the 21st, the body of Amot rested for good. He died in his pain while sleeping, recounts the proprietor of the car wash, still in shock. The said lady questioned we got on phone Sunday, but reaching her home minutes later, we were told through the gate that she was not at home. The family of the said Amot reported the matter to the forces of law and order. Investigation has been opened on the matter as the family is crying for justice. Meanwhile, the body of Emmanuel Atebangono, popularly known as Amot, is presently at the mortuary of the Yaoundé Central Hospital.
On the occasion of World Malaria Day this April 25, under the theme Harness Innovation to Reduce the Burden of Malaria and Save Lives, Cameroon has adopted a new national policy to fight against malaria this year. It is an intermittent preventive treatment for malaria in infants and children under the age of 2 at the Swa Health District. Today, Beatrice Gamo has the rest of that story.
In 2021, about 3 million malaria cases were reported, representing 29.6% of the reasons for outpatient consultations and hospital incident cases of 113 per 1,000 inhabitants. In addition, over 3,000 deaths due to malaria were reported also. And among the 11 countries with highest burden of malaria around the world, Cameroon included.
Cameroon is one of 11 countries in the world that accumulate 70% of all cases around the world and 71% of all deaths.
The good news is that strategies to control malaria do exist and is in place for many years. This, according to the World Health Organization, includes leadership championed here by the First Lady for its elimination, then prevention, which is available, like the long-lasting treated bed nets, the intermittent preventive treatment of pregnant women, and lastly, the seasonal malaria chemo prevention operations in children under 5 twice a year in the north and far north regions. Cameroon, on the occasion of the World Malaria Day this April 25th, under the theme Harnessing Innovation to Reduce the Burden of Malaria and Save Lives, launched another new strategy, which is the intermittent preventive treatment for infants.
And I even gave a dose to a baby. It has been in existence for several years. Many countries have used it, but Cameroon has launched it today. So this is extremely important. It's an additional tool to deal with malaria. The last strategy which you are waiting impatiently is the vaccine. The vaccine has been approved by WHO for use in countries where malaria is high or moderate burden. The vaccine has been tested in 3 countries in Africa.
The celebration at the Swa Health.
And we take you to Garoua, chief town of the north region of Cameroon, to meet a happy winner of the combined continental jackpot.
The town of Garoua is honored to have won the first ever edition of the recent bet d'Or Père Musée Africa Millions. An 80 million francs check has been handed over to the winner of the maiden stake Père Musée Africa Millions. Feasting the victory, Père Musée Caravan crisscrossed Garoua, chief town of the North region, with an anxious population trailing the festive caravan. The sales lady of the winning ticket expresses her joy.
J'invite toute la population de Garoua à venir jouer Africa Million.
I called on the population of Garoua to come and play Africa Million. I am the one who sold the ticket to the winner of 80 million francs. He staked 6 numbers for 1,600 francs. It's not a magic, it's a reality.
C'est pas la magie, c'est la réalité.
Permise North Regional Branch used the occasion to engrave its name in the golden books of this new betting segment.
Depuis près de 3 semaines, nous avons lancé notre nouveau segment de jeu.
We launched our new Permise segment, Dope Africa Million. With an 80 million francs winner, we can confidently say Africa Million is respecting its engagement. This maiden edition of Africa Million Pan-African Lottery has been won in Cameroon, precisely in Garoua. This maiden African bet has opened the gates for stakers to try their luck. The April 16 draw was won by a regular staker, overwhelmed by his success.
I
wanted to stake 300 francs, then I said, let me just go for the complete game. So I played.
We have come to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Canal de International. Thanks so much for watching. We have news in the French language at exactly 19:50. Alain Gislain Kanga be coming up next is The Brief with Mark Schwamo. So we'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.